Oy. Phew. Moving on. The IRS has extended the deadline to file taxes this year. And honestly, I think this is for the government's benefit more than it is for the American public. I mean, Uncle Sam over there in DC has a lot of shit he's trying to get through right now, and we get it, babe. You're coming off a bad breakup. You don't have the spoons for all this right now. Take your time. And with that time, work on some self-care reform. Don't worry about us, though, because when you're ready, the country will still be here, and it'll still be super, super fucked up. Spring is here. The early morning growl of snowblowers and plows has been replaced by that of chirping birds and the early morning scream of lawn care equipment. Typically, seasons changing signify a time for restoration of balance, like how I used to balance work and life, and now I balance my OnlyFans and my Plantstagram. It's that time of year where we plant seeds, we hide eggs and we try to wear shorts in 50-degree weather, but I'm telling you, you're not fooling anybody. You're freezing your balls off. But luckily, we won't have to do that so much anymore. Time where the snow finally melts from death's frosty grip, emerges new life, discarded cigarette butts, and huge quantities of dog poop. I mean, mountains and mountains of dog poop. Like, it comes in so many different shapes and sizes and colors and strata. It's gross. It's gross. The hyperbolic time chamber, however, that we were forced to endure throughout COVID-19, for some people has been some sort of house arrest, and for others it's kind of been like this little cocoon where we all came into March 2020 as little tiny caterpillars, unknowingly in need of working on ourselves, working out, and developing new hobbies. And I, for one, am really excited to tell you about my new hobby, where I binge drink hard liquor. And apparently I was not alone. In this past year, the US hit an all-time high of $31.3 billion in liquor sales, over $2 billion more than the previous year. And to put that into perspective, if every hard liquor company came together and created its own country, it would, number one, be the coolest fucking country in the world. I mean, oh my God, why is this not a thing? But, furthermore, if this number represented its own sovereign nation, it would, number two, surpass the GDP of smaller nations like Aruba and Jamaica. And according to our BNN World Trade experts, if you combined those two countries and even tacked on Bermuda and the Bahamas, the US of alcohol would still somehow have a higher GDP. And this isn't as much a shot at these cruise party countries as much as it is a reference to a place called Cocomo, where we'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. Fun fact, Cocomo is actually in Indiana, less than 3 hours from where we are right now. We've provided a map to show you. But despite the increased damage to our livers and strange stares from our pets, that is where we wanna go. Way down in Cocomo. David, you wrote this one, right? It's a lot of Beach Boy shit. Now, I'm not saying that I have a problem, mostly because it's my fucking doctor who is the one who told me I do, and coworkers and family and friends and stuff, but it is becoming a large, potentially unhealthy part of many of our lives. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Prevention, or as I like to call it, NYAP, has been experiencing intermittent consumption rates this past year lower than its peak in 1981, even through the early 1990s. That's right, millennials. Don't matter how hard you try. When it comes to the golden era of Michael Jackson, you just can't beat it. So what's the problem here? Are we drinking too much? Are we spending too much money on booze? Or are we just trying to survive with whatever means we got? Hard to say, but thank you. We here at Broken News want to raise our glass because God only knows that our livers need it. Gin. When we come back, our senior argumentative correspondent, Natalie Galdi, will be going head-to-head with yours truly in a segment that we're calling Let's Debate. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Got ben it, ben it, flip, bump,